Welcome to the Fit Dad Club podcast. Today you're with Travis Jones and we're talking real talk with some 5-minute motivation. And this week I want to talk to you about the voices that are going on inside your head. I'm not talking about being crazy, but we all have voices going on. We have them, a negative one, we have a positive one that tells you press snooze, have the extra beer, that you can't lose weight, and what's the point of this whole transformation process? And the other one that tells you to just get to work, to simply get the job done. The issue is that the one you listen to the most is always going to be the loudest. And if you're at the start of your journey, the one that's going to be telling you what to do is going to be the lesser version of you. It's going to be louder than the other one. It's going to be telling you to press snooze. It's going to tell you to skip the workout, to have the extra beer. That is the one that's going to be dominating your head. So the biggest thing we have to understand is, how do we flip it? How do we quieten down the lesser version of you and turn up the volume of the one that's telling you just to get to work? So first things first is we have to label them. So that's the biggest thing we have to understand, is we must label them. So let's call the lesser than best version of you Fat Dad. He's the one that's holding you back. He's the one that's sending you on a trajectory over the next 3 to 5 years to not feeling confident, to feeling low energy, to feeling like crap. And let's call the other one Fit Dad. If we listen to him more often, then in 3 to 5 years, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to have, a trim midsection. You could have a 6-pack. You're going to be feeling fantastic. You're going to have abundance of energy. And because once we have labeled them, we can consciously ask ourselves at times of decision, what would Fit Dad do? And what would Fat Dad do? So you aren't deciding whether to press snooze or not. You're asking yourself, what would Fit Dad or Fat Dad do? And the decision has already been made, because you're assuming the identity. So if we set some principles of how Fit Dad asks, then we can simply assume the identity, act as if. If we act as if we are Fit Dad, then eventually we just become him. So let's talk a couple of principles, 6 or 7 ones that we can act as guidelines right now. So one, Fit Dad, he takes the stairs instead of the escalator. So if you're presented with an escalator, you always take the stairs. Super simple. He focuses on eating towards his health. Now, this could be sticking to your calories. It could be hitting your protein goal. It could be, eating, like not having too many beers. It could be a bunch of things. But if you're tracking calories, it could be just sticking to your calories. And that's what he does. And if you are in a fat loss period, he ensures that he tracks his food before he eats. That's a big thing. Fit Dad tracks first, then eats, doesn't eat, then track after. So if you haven't tracked it, you don't eat it. So he tracks his food first. He works out for a minimum of 10 minutes every day. Now, everyone can find 10 minutes every single day. It's less than 1% of the day. I think it's like 0.5% of the day when we look at this. So you can definitely work out for 10 minutes, and it takes us away from this all or nothing mindset. A lot of people, what happens if they got this 45-minute workout or 60-minute workout and they don't have 60 minutes in their day, they say, what's the point? And we don't do anything at all. But Fit Dad knows I train every single day. So if I have 10 minutes, I'm going to get to work. So you can have a if, when, then. If, when I have only 10 minutes, then you might do an EMOM every minute on the minute. You might do 20 air squats, and then you might do 20 push-ups the next minute, and just go back and forth and just get the body moving, get the blood pumping, because this is what Fit Dad does. The next thing is, he never presses snooze. When his alarm goes off, he gets his ass out of bed and gets to attacking the day, because we know that we aren't promised today. And if we wake up, it's a great day, because it's another day that you get to spend being you. So you never press snooze, you greet the day, you make it a great day, and you get to work. The last thing Fit Dad does is, if he misses a day of one of the above principles we just talked about, he never misses twice. So if you pressed your alarm yesterday, the next day you never press. You just get your ass out of bed. If you did miss that 10-minute workout, you get up and you get to the gym first thing. If you didn't hit your calories the next day, you make sure you hit your calories, because now we have standards to live by as Fit Dad. So if you ask yourself, should I work out or not? It's no, what would Fit Dad do and what would Fat Dad do? Well, Fit Dad gets to work and gets his 10 minutes in. If you're faced with, pressing snooze, what would Fit Dad do? What would Fat Dad do? Because we understand it's not where you're at right now that makes the difference. It's the trajectory that you're on right now to change your life that makes the difference. So we understand what pushes us to Fat Dad. We understand what pushes us to Fit Dad. Now, this is normally always driven by how we're feeling. It's easy to go and work out when we feel great. It's easy to go and, eat the food you're supposed to do when you feel great. Fat dad normally pipes up his head when we're in a downward state, when we're driven by low quality emotions. We have the extra beers when we're stressed. We say no to the workouts when we're tired. We essentially don't do positive actions in a negative environment. So if we understand how to get out of a low state, then we can effectively choose to get out of it and become fit dad. So how do we do it? This is the biggest thing. It's like motion or movement is the biggest thing we need to focus on, because motion equals emotion. If you aren't moving, you can create low quality emotions, or you will create low quality emotions that can lead to low quality decisions. So when you're frustrated, don't grab a beer. Instead, just bang out 30 push-ups or 40 push-ups. Easy. Blood's pumping. You're going to make better decisions. When you're stressed, don't grab a pie or cookies to try and hide the emotions. Go for a 5-minute walk. Take a couple of breaths. Change your state. Again, we move our body. We're going to change our state. And then we can more effectively, we come back. Do I want to be fit dad? Do I want to be fat dad? You're going to be in a clearer headspace. You can choose fit dad over fat dad. And then if you choose fit dad for the next 60 days, one day you won't wake up actively having to choose fit dad anymore. The choice will be done for you, because all you will be choosing is fit dad. Fat dad has been silenced. You've acted as the identity for fit dad for so long, all of a sudden you have become him. So remember, the war on your goals is achieved in the mind. So over the next week, I want you to choose fit dad. I want you to banish fat dad to the curb, and I want you to get to work.